The victim card has been activated, ladies and gentlemen. The Acolyte is out, and everyone hates this. Everyone that's not getting paid in some way, shape, or form to shill for it hates it because it is truly terrible. This is the culmination of Disney Star Wars. This brings it all together. They've been working really hard to get to this point, and now we have finally reached the absolute bottom of the barrel for Disney Star Wars at this point in time. Can it get worse? Oh, certainly. But this is as bad as it has gotten up to this point. Now, you would think that they'd be celebrating because, hey, look, brought in 4.8 million viewers in the first 24 hours, the biggest Disney Plus premiere of 2024. Yet the shill media is running defense because they're saying that the fans are review bombing. That's right, they're review bombing it because fans are letting their voice be heard. A 29% right now on the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes versus the 92% from the shill media. So if you go over to Screen Rant, the Acolyte review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. Really? Now, this is written by someone that doesn't understand fandom. And as we've talked about many times, fandom is all about passion. Were the prequels review bombed because a lot of people didn't like them? No. The prequels had people that genuinely didn't like them for their valid reasons. And they also had people that loved them for their valid reasons, present party included. I love the prequels. I don't dismiss the fact that people hated the prequels as well. I think that there's a very divided view of the prequels. I think time has been nice to the prequels, but there's still people out there that genuinely don't like them for valid reasons, and they evoked passion from fans. You can positively review bomb, and you can negatively review bomb. Because that is how fandom works. I've talked about this many times. I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I know for a fact that Christopher Nolan fans positively review bomb Christopher Nolan movies all the time. Does that make them toxic? Well, kind of. But in reality, they don't ever get branded that way from the shill media because there's no victim narrative to build into that, because this is all about fake victim narratives. Zack Snyder fans is another classic example. They positively review bomb Zack Snyder films. That's okay, because Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, they create emotion, positive emotion from their fan base, and their fan base wants to share that passion and love by positively review bombing. Disney Star Wars has negatively affected almost every single fan out there. Now, could it have to do with the constant, arguably the gayest Star Wars yet lines from Leslie Headland, who happens to be Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant? Let's listen to Leslie Headland. I'm sure this has nothing to do with the negativity out there when the showrunner, who's Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, in case you didn't hear me the last time, said this.
Both, because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about?
Don't you love when Star Wars is all about sexuality? That's what defines Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this has nothing to do with the negativity out there with the showrunner and the star talking about things like this. And that's just one piece of a giant puzzle that is leading us to all of this negativity.
Putting this, this is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure some.
Because nerds are gay.
Well,
Yeah.
Some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
Yeah.
in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly
You're offended?
into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me with a straight face that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But
So you have comments like that. Then you have comments like this from the star.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
Yay, racism is so funny. It's so funny. I thought we were standing against racism. But let's go to the article right here. In spite of favorable responses from the critics, The Acolyte is currently being review bombed on sites such as Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. The Disney era of Star Wars has hardly been an uncontroversial one. With the fandom dividing in the aftermath of Star Wars The Last Jedi, those divisions remain to this day, and has been proven by The Acolyte. Showrunner Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, has proved especially controversial, and there's been a vocal backlash against the Star Wars TV show from certain parts of the fandom. How about the entire fandom? The entire Star Wars fandom is rejecting this show because it is a bad show. Like, you can take the comments that Leslie Headland has said, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. You can take the comments from the cast, and all of that is part of it. But ultimately, if you have a good product, it is a good product. Well, not only do you have those comments, you have an objectively terrible show on your hands right now. It's bad. It's very, very bad. It's a diversity showcase. The acting is bad. The dialogue's bad. The story is bad. It's really bad all the way through. Now, that's part of it too. But then you add all of the negativity that's been happening with Lucasfilm, and there's just no leeway at this point in time. If you've had good shows and good movies and then you end up with something bad, you're going to get some negativity, but people are going to go, hey, you know what? We'll give it another try. It's clear that Star Wars exists to be a social justice propaganda machine. That is what it is. This has continued with the release of The Acolyte, premiered on Disney Plus. At the time of writing, The Acolyte has an audience score of just 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, while the show has a user score of 4.1 on Metacritic. Looking at the actual reviews, there's evidence of review bombing campaign. Many appear to be AI generated, consisting only of basic plot synopsis. A surprising number of half-star reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are from brand new accounts. Another indicator of review bombing campaign. Dun dun dun. The Star Wars fandom has always been a divided, divisive one, but it's become worse over the last few years, with a portion objecting to what they perceive as wokeness in the Disney era. This even resulted in a South Park parody of Star Wars, declaring that everything was the fault of Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy. The Acolyte is headed by lesbian showrunner and stars female and Asian leads, meaning it was always going to be controversial with this part of the fandom. Oh my God, unbelievable. Looks like a stupid ad is in my way, so I can't even read the rest of this stupid article. It's important to note that there are probably genuine criticisms. What? Wait a minute. Now there might be some genuine criticisms during the review bombing, drowned out by the campaign. Some critics have called out pacing and dialogue problems, and those could well pose a problem to members of the audience as well, resulting in negative reviews. Ironically, the review bombing campaign means real dissatisfaction is impossible to evaluate. While those who loved The Acolyte wind up on the defensive, it's a self-defeating strategy because it makes it easier to tune out any criticism as part of the campaign. So here you have a breakdown of the audience scores and the critic scores. Now explain something to me. Explain something to me. How does The Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2 have a 91 and a 92, but Season 3 has a 51? Could it have to do with genuine criticisms? I mean, I liked Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2. I enjoyed both of those. I have not seen Andor. I watched the first couple of episodes of Andor. I liked the first couple of episodes of Andor, but I'm just so checked out on Disney Star Wars. I didn't watch Ahsoka. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a complete and total disaster. I did not watch the Book of Boba Fett. I didn't watch Mandalorian Season 3. And then you have The Acolyte. So there you have the breakdown of all of the audience scores. So what you're finding out is that fans are not going to review bomb just because it's Star Wars. They're going to review bomb based on how they feel about how the show is being treated by the creatives involved. And The Mandalorian shows you that fans will accept something if they think it's good. Same with Andor. But this right here, this is a pile of garbage, because it is a pile of garbage. It's a pile of garbage made by Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland. So this is the result of a bad show, nothing more, nothing less. But people are tired of the agenda-driven nonsense, and The Acolyte is the culmination of all of this from Disney Star Wars. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.